Are you dreaming of living in a safe, friendly neighborhood you can enjoy with peace of mind? Today, I'm going to talk about buying a house in a gated community. Again, from a mortgage lender's point of view. My name is Kevin Brierton, certified mortgage planning specialist, your no excuse lender with the Kevin Brierton team. And I'm here to talk about everything you need to know about buying a home in a gated community. So in this video, we're going to cover that and the benefits of living in a gated community, what to expect in the buying process, some tips you need along the way, and a clear idea of whether you want to buy a house in the gated community or not, and if it's the right decision for you. So let's dive into it. A gated community is a type of neighborhood that is controlled, that has a controlled access for residents and visitors. This means there's gates and barriers at the entrance. But there's a few things to think about, like only the people that live there or have permission to be there can enter those gates. These communities can have security guards at the front of it, or electronic systems to make sure everybody is entering and exiting that should enter the property, or stopping the people that should not. There's many great reasons to live in a gated community, so let's talk about those first. The biggest reason is security. With controlled access, it's harder for strangers to get in the community, and this keeps your family and you safer. And the gated communities offer more privacy too, because it's less traffic, fewer people from maybe outside the community walking around. It could be a quieter place to live. Many gated communities have special amenities like swimming pools, parks, playgrounds, clubhouses. And these features can really make life more enjoyable and fun for the community that you live in if you live inside this gated community. But because it's a smaller and more secure area, you might find it easier to know your neighbors, or build a stronger sense of community in some cases. But let's go over some steps on buying a house in a gated community. And it might seem complicated, but don't worry about it. Let's break it down in a few easy steps. First, you want to do some research. Find out the gated communities that you're interested in your area. Make a list of them and figure out what you like best about that community. I think it's important to try to find a house you can afford to spend money on, and if this costs additional money, because if it includes looking at your savings, your income, or different loan types, remember, it can be a higher cost to live in that community. So is that cost worth it to be in that community or not? Now, once you have a list of these communities and a budget of what you kind of think you want to spend, start visiting them, take tours, see the houses available, pay attention to the amenities and the overall feel of the community. After visiting these communities, choosing the right home that fits your budget is super important in this process, and it has to have everything you want, but also fit your budget and what you're going to get for that. It's important to understand what you're getting for what you're paying, because if you want, you don't golf, but you're paying for a golf membership, that could be an issue. So think about what you're getting for it and what it is also costing you. If you need a loan to buy a house, now is the time to kind of talk through this on the mortgage side. Talk about it with your mortgage planner. If you need help, reach out. It's important to understand your available options and how it impacts your max qualification. When you're ready for a mortgage to make an offer on a house, getting pre-qualified is important, because remember, the HOA payments could affect how you qualify for that home. So as you're getting qualified for that house and you make an offer, you also want to make sure you get the home inspected. This makes sure there's no hidden problems. You also want to look at the HOA paperwork. It's extremely important to make sure you look at the HOA paperwork. I'll give you an example. I bought a house with an HOA as an investment, and the house ended up having a crack in the front driveway. Well, that crack in the front driveway, I was told by the seller that the HOA would fix it. It came after the renters moved out, and it was fixed. Bad news though, I got a letter in the mail and I had to pay $10,000 to the HOA for the driveway. So it's important to understand, if you're buying a house in a gated community or a house with an HOA, read over the information, make sure there's no issues or back payments due to the HOA or any discrepancies with the current seller. So if everything looks good, you'll be going to the closing process. This is where you're going to sign all your paperwork and become a homeowner. Generally speaking, you're going to pay your first 1 or 2 payments for your HOA or your gated community at closing. Then you're going to have to pay those outside. Your HOA payments are always going to be outside of your mortgage. So just keep that in mind. Taxes, insurance, maybe mortgage insurance are included in the payments, but HOA is always going to be paid separately. So here's some extra tips too. Every gated community has an HOA. homeowners association. This is a set of rules and fees. So make sure you understand those rules and make sure you're okay with them. One example of this is there's a community in northern Arizona that does not allow any motorcycles, even if they're street legal, any off-road vehicles, even if they're street legal. You literally have to park them at the gate. So make sure if you're buying a house in the woods, but all of a sudden you can't ride any motorcycles or off-road vehicles anywhere on premise, that could be a challenge. So make sure you're okay with this. Make sure you understand the parking situation. That's another big thing we hear from clients is I want to move because I don't like how the parking situation is at my house, and I'm frustrated with it because I can't park on the street or whatever the situation is. So make sure you understand the rules. So if possible, talk to people that live in the community, maybe go visit maybe yard sales in the community. That's a great way to do it. Go meet the neighbors through those avenues because you can kind of get an idea of a feel of the community. Visit the community a couple different days of the week to get a feel of different hours. And, obviously don't jump over the gate to go into a gated community, but it's important to visit the communities that you're looking at. So consider how long you want to plan on staying in the house too, because the community might change over time. So is this something you want to be in for 1 to 5 years, 5 to 10 years, 10 plus years? So it's important to understand your timeline that you're going to be there and how that affects your buying decision. Buying a house and getting a mortgage for a gated community can be a wonderful decision for you and your family with some extra security, privacy, and amenities. I can see why so many people choose to be in gated communities, but just make sure you understand, what you're signing up for. My name is Kevin Brierton, certified mortgage planning specialist. Your no excuse lender with the Kevin Brierton team, and we're here to help you find your dream home, but the mortgage that will help you with that as well. So go to mortgagestrategycall.com. Mortgagestrategycall.com can help you plan a mortgage strategy to help you buy a home in a gated community or not. Thanks again for watching the House Hunting, and we'll catch you on the next one. Bye.